My father's friends with a shaman. We live in Taiwan, by the way. Taiwan is a very superstitious country, which is why shamans are always so popular here. Most of these shamans are usually frauds, who just want your money. But this one is the real deal. We'll call him Mr. Shin, which is not his real name, of course. Mr. Shin is quite famous for his line of work. He has extensive police connections, mostly because the police occasionally seek him for advice when encountering a cold case they can't solve. And of course, he has lots of stories to tell. I'm going to tell a particularly disturbing one from his perspective. See what you make of it yourself.
This happened decades ago. Back when I was still working in Tainan, I had to set up shop near Yanghuok Temple, where I would receive clients that needed my assistance with supernatural. It was a stormy night when I was about to close shop for the day. A disheveled young man in a yellow raincoat stumbled into my shop, clearly distraught. "Are you all right?" I asked gently, pouring a cup of warm tea and handing it to the young man. He grabbed the cup and his hand slipped, cup shattering to the floor in a dozen places.
Please, sir. You must help me. I'm gonna die in 7 days. Please. I don't want to die.
I lit a candle as he shakily settled down into a chair, muttering a few prayers of good fortune to my patron goddess, Wan Yin. I knew this was going to be a long night.
My girlfriend committed suicide this morning.
I see. I'm sorry for your loss.
It's my fault. It's all my fucking fault. I shouldn't have...
His voice cracked again. I handed him a box of tissue paper. "I'm afraid I don't know your name, Mr.
Yang. Look, Mr. Shin, I cheated on my girlfriend. And somehow she found out this morning. She sent me a text message and then jumped off a building, dressed in red."
I tensed. This was not a good sign. A person dressed in red before committing suicide would become a vengeful spirit. In 7 days, the spirit would return to the land of the living and seek revenge on the person responsible. What did she tell you?
She told me she would never forgive me, and that she would come back to haunt me, even in death.
I see. I steepled my fingers in a deep thought. What happened after?
I can't sleep, Mr. Shin. Whenever I close my eyes, I would see her.
Vengeful spirits are especially difficult to deal with. Usually I try to negotiate with spirits, offering them prayers and gifts. But if push comes to shove, I would not hesitate to confront them directly. I'm going to perform a powerful cleansing ritual, Mr. Yang. If this doesn't get rid of her, nothing will. I handed Mr. Yang a bundle of incense sticks and lit them. The moment his hands touched the sticks, however, they rapidly decayed and crumbled away. Mr. Yang. I sighed as I laid back in my chair. I'm afraid I can't help you. Your girlfriend wants your life. Even I can't stop her without risking my own. However, I said thoughtfully, as a man was about to suffer from another emotional breakdown, that does not mean we cannot fool her. Upon hearing this, Mr. Yang's eyes lit up with hope.
You're saying there is another way?
Your girlfriend committed suicide. Her body is stiff from rigor mortis, and her spirit remains trapped in that state as well.
I don't understand.
She remains stiff, but unable to bend down, as in only being able to move around. Only after her vengeance is complete can she finally move freely. This is a common feature among Yang Shigai, a vengeful spirit that was wronged before death, and a weakness we can exploit. I wrote his name and date of birth on a straw doll, and asked for a sample of Mr. Yang's hair. A few incantations later, the doll had been infused with a sliver of Yang's life energy. On the 7th day, just before midnight, you will put this doll on the bed. This doll will serve as a decoy, and the ghost is likely to attack it instead of you. However, it is possible that she'll see through our little trick. Therefore, your best bet is to hide. You will hide under your bed, and no matter what happens, you will stay there until dawn.
Why the bed? Why not the closet or somewhere else?
I told you, the ghost cannot bend itself in any way. Hiding under the bed is the safest way to get you out of this mess. He nodded vigorously.
I understand, Mr. Shin.
She will create illusions. She will pretend to be your parents, your friends, or someone you know. Do not come out of your hiding place, no matter what, nor should you make any sound indicating where you are.
I'll do as you ask, Mr. Shin. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You saved my life.
Not yet. I warned sternly. You must follow these instructions very closely. A single mistake can get you killed. He kept thanking me on the way out, so long as he doesn't do anything stupid, that you'd make it out alive. After all, I had dealt with similar cases before. Oh, how wrong I was. Exactly 7 days later, a local police inspector, whom I know visited my shop, asked me for assistance. He told me that Mr. Yang was found dead in his apartment this morning. His horribly mangled body hidden underneath the bed. No signs of an intruder were found.
We, found the doll,
the inspector said, holding up the straw decoy in a plastic bag.
He, consulted you a few days prior to his death, apparently.
Yes. I racked my brains in utter confusion. My plan was supposed to work perfectly, as it always did. What the hell went wrong? I filled the inspector in on Yang's story. He visibly paled when I mentioned that he was supposed to hide under the bed. The inspector shook his head.
You shouldn't have let him do that.
Why?
He probably didn't tell you. Or maybe he didn't know. Anyway, his girlfriend committed suicide.
Yeah, he told me that.
By jumping off a building. She hit the ground, head first.
I froze in shock. She jumped off the building. She hit the ground, head first. I felt chills up my spine as I imagined Yang's last moments, hiding under the bed, hoping that the vengeful spirit won't find him, until he came face to face with his girlfriend's mangled face, upside down.